Okay, let's take a look inside the AmeraCoach. It's a low profile camper to start with, but it is nice to have this little step down here. And also a screen door, full screen door. And that allows a nice breeze in. Okay, so you step inside the camper. Immediately you'll see we have some good storage space right here for easy access from outside the camper as well. The kitchenette area here, we have coffee maker, the convection oven, microwave, and a 3-burner stove, which we have a plexiglass cover on. And a 3-burner stove. The burners are down below. We have some storage down here, as you can see, and some storage here. This is where we keep the utensils. 2 spots for that, and some more storage underneath. We have storage above. That's these 2 spots. This is where we keep all of our food items. A vent fan up above here. We use that a lot. It's got an in and an out with 3 different speeds up there. Currently the vent fan does not work on this unit, but the light does. Okay, our freezer and fridge. And I think just last year I replaced the glass on that fridge. Okay, as we come forward here, we have the living quarters. This chair right here does swivel forward when driving the vehicle, and it does recline to a very nice recliner. And this is a jackknife sofa bed. I would say I've slept on this thing multiple times. For example, like when the kids couldn't sleep, I'd sleep there with them. It's okay. It's not real long. I'd say if you're over 6 feet long, this would not be nice, but if you put a foam cover on it, it would be okay for sleeping. It folds back up. We have seat belts over here for 3, and of course seat belts here, and seat belts for the drivers and passengers. I will note there are no shoulder harnesses. This vehicle was built, I guess, in 1991, so I guess it was not standard at that point in time. One other thing I'll point out to you, we have some good storage up above here. We usually put our plates and stuff up here. That passes through to this one over here as well. A key feature here is this vintage 1991 working clock. Actually keeps time, believe it or not. And again, more storage over here on this side, same type of deal. This all passes through from one to the next. And interestingly, I'm just gonna say, the quality of this wood is like better than you would expect. It seems like campers made today, including our newer fifth wheel, things don't seem to be quite as sturdy. What we have here is the AmeraCoach control panel. This is where you turn on and off the water pump. So when water, you turn this on, water is in the system. Currently it's not because it's winterized. The sink, everything pressurizes, the toilet back there. And then once it pressurizes, the SureFlow water pump shuts off. It's located back behind and underneath the bed back there. This is the water heater on-off switch. And you heard it ignite. There's no water in the water heater, so we will not let that run. What does not work here is these 2 right here. The fresh water, the gray water, actually these 3, the black water. I know for a fact those are all disconnected and in the back, and they are not accurate. The LPG, I believe, is accurate. I haven't found this to be a problem because usually after we go camping for several nights, we clean everything out in the holding tanks. I think we've gone as long as a week, like on a camping trip, where 6 or 7 days when we did not empty it. And that's about as long as a family of 5 could go. Being very conservative, actually. Above the driver's compartment, there's another storage unit up here. This is where you would keep maps, books, whatever you want. And the same thing over here. This is where we keep our Blu-ray player. Just on that subject, this LCD TV up here, you can operate while you're traveling. The driver can't see it, which is good, nor the passenger over here. But it's run off of this inverter down here. This is running off of the batteries for the camper. You could, for example, there's a plug over here where you can plug into that, and you do not need to be plugged into a campsite or have the generator running. You could also brew a pot of coffee off of the batteries very easily. Another thing to note here is I have installed LED lighting throughout the camper. There's only one bulb in the back, which I would show you in a minute. Is not, because it's too high voltage. Advantage of that is we got some good immediate lighting. It doesn't produce any heat, and it uses very little power. So when you're running, you're not plugged in at a campsite. Say for example, you're at a national forest campground where there's no hookups of any sort. You can run these lights in here probably for about a week or 2 weeks. We've never tried it for 2 weeks, but running off of those batteries, they use such low wattage that you could really go for a long time without recharging the battery. However, you can always run the generator and refreshes everything. What will not work running the off of the coach batteries is the air conditioning unit. You have to run the generator or be plugged into a 30 amp campground, or at your home you could plug it into as well. As you probably know, the refrigerator and freezer will not run. It'll run all the time given the opportunity. It will run on LP gas if there's LP gas available, and it will run off of the generator or the campsite plug-in. Very nice feature, of course, because when you're going down the road and you're not plugged in or you're not running your generator, you can run off of LP gas. And I have found this to be extremely efficient. We've gone, I think we went on a 17-day trip and with a full tank of LP gas, and we did not even use half of it, just running the refrigerator constantly and amongst cooking. This is of course the rear bath area and the sleeping quarters. This is a Thetford toilet, and it works great. We have, I mean, what can you say? The toilet works great. This is the only light back here that does not work unless you're plugged in or running the generator. It is a, I think, 75 watt bulb, so that's the reason for that. It produces a lot of light. While we're on that subject, let's turn the generator on. This is the spot where you turn it on. As soon as the red light comes on, it means the generator is powered up. It takes it just a moment for the power to click on. Like that. And as you saw, the light go on back there in the back. And now we can run the AC. Full tilt. So the air conditioning is on right now. Or you can run just a fan, and it's got a lot of adjustments on it, depending on where you want to put the air. So, and of course now you could. We've done this before. While you're going down the road, you can throw some nachos or something in there and have one of the kids microwave up some nachos, or pull over preferably, and. So that's all that. So this automatically switches over to AC power once the generator is turned on. And shut that off. And now, of course, the lights went out back there. I'm trying to think of. Oh, this is kind of nice. For example, it's late at night. You want to get some work done. Get the computer out, plug into your Wi-Fi hotspot. You've got a little spot to work right here. It's actually kind of comfortable if you want to do some reading. We've played checkers and stuff on this board. There is a plug-in down here again that runs off of the power inverter. You could plug in your computer stuff if you need to. So I found this to be pretty nice. Also, if you're by yourself or just need an extra spot to eat, this is what we do. We can also turn around this seat right here, and two can eat there. On that subject, we never use this thing, but this is it. That little spot right there is a post mount for the table, which is stored in the back. Honestly, we never used it. We found it to be too small. But there's the table and the post for it right there. Just too small. We brought up a card table. Oh, by the way, while we're in here, we've got a place to hang clothes, and there are 4 accessory drawers there. Back in the back here again, some storage underneath the sink. That's where we keep toilet paper and accessories. And then up above here, a spot for, okay, let's say shampoos and cosmetics, those types of things, whatever you please. I think that's about it. I guess I didn't show you there's some storage up here as well for clothes. That's where we store our clothes. And underneath the bed as well, there's another large storage area underneath here. And we, again, a family of 5, we did pretty well actually keeping our, we had plenty of room in here. It's, of course, when we upgraded to something bigger, we thought this was small, but really like the features of this little space efficient camper. And by the way, I am about 6 feet tall, 5'10", and I can walk around in here without bonking my head on anything. The only thing is if you're taller than that, you're gonna hit your head on the air conditioning unit. So just be aware of that. That's the inside of the AmeraCoach.